Hey guys, my name is Jamie Hurley, guitarist from The Nasty out of Dover, New Hampshire, and this is the worst show I have ever played. So as a little bit of background to this, The Nasty had been on hiatus for a couple years when I happened to move back to New Hampshire, and they decided they were going to reform and needed a new guitarist since their guitarist switched to vocals because their vocalist had entered the military. So they asked me if I was interested, and I said, of course, because they were one of my favorite local bands, period. So I was extremely hyped on this and had to learn about, I think 20 songs over the course of a few weeks, and then we played some like hometown basement small shows and stuff. And then they made the big announcement that they had started playing out again. And we had a run of shows for a long weekend, like a Thursday, Friday, Saturday run of shows for their big new debut after being on hiatus for a few years. So the first show was on a Thursday, I believe, or maybe a Friday. Either way, long weekend. And it was a show up in Bangor, Maine, or Orono, Maine. It was a punk and video game festival. So I started to notice I was not feeling well on the way up to that show. Something was off. I just wasn't feeling well, but this was like, our big first run back, and we were playing with the legendary Gangrene at my hometown skate park Saturday for the end run of the show. So this was something I had to play regardless, come hell or high water. So the show Thursday night went okay, pretty well, had a fun time. Coming home, the 3.5 hour drive, I knew I was not feeling well at all. So I get home that night feeling like crap. Noticed what I thought was pink eye in one of my eyes. And I'd never had pink eye in my entire life. So I said, well, this is great. So I just got to deal with this. Go to bed, try to get some rest, wake up for the show tomorrow that we had in Jamaica Plain with a bunch of Boston heavy hitters, guys from Toxic Narcotic and their new bands and a couple other ones. And so this Friday show was the actual worst show I have ever played. I wake up on Friday, Saturday morning, whatever it is, and now I've got pink eye in both eyes, and I have a fever of, I think it was around 102. I am just absolutely miserable. But again, no choice. I load up in the van with everyone, load all the gear, start heading down to Boston, to Jamaica Plain. We played the Midway Cafe, and so I'm feeling like death. I can barely see anything out of my eyes, trying to not be contagious to other people. We get to the show, and as soon as we open the door to go check in at the Midway and start loading gear in, there's a girl ODing on the ground and convulsing. And unfortunately, this was back in around 2010, kind of at the height of the opioid crisis. And Boston was one of the places hit hardest by that. So we were like, what's going on? Like, basically no one was even paying attention to this girl. And it was just like, clearly this happened at least every day or every other day in there, because the bartenders and staff, they treated it well, but they were just like, what can we do? Just someone call an ambulance? Okay, move her off to the side, make sure she doesn't choke on her own puke. And I'm like, what the fuck? And there's like, yeah, you guys can just keep loading in gear around her, load it out back over there, and sure, the ambulance will be here soon. So yeah, this was the start of the show, as I'm walking around sick as a dog. And the show starts late, ambulance shows up. They had to come in. I think they Narcaned her, got her on a stretcher, got her out of there. She looked like she was okay, which was obviously good. The show starts. I'm just feeling sicker and sicker as the night goes on. And then we come up to play our set, and I'm like straight up fever dreaming at this point. I can barely focus on anything, extremely dehydrated on stage, and we've got to play about a 20-30 minute set of just blisteringly fast hardcore punk songs. And granted, all these I had only learned within the past 2 months or so. Now you can fuck up a couple spots, you know, playing some of that stuff and catch back up, and usually no one will notice. But I literally forgot an entire song. We finished one song, went into another, and my mind just went completely blank. I forgot the entire song. Luckily, the song's only about 45 seconds or so of just really fast different power chords. So I just started strumming shit really fast and moving around as fast as I could. And everyone's looking at me like, what the fuck are you doing? And I'm just looking at them, shaking my head like, I have no idea. Even if we had to stop and restart and play the song, I still wouldn't have remembered how to play it. I was just so completely out of it. Fucked up a bunch of other songs in the set, but got through it. Finished up, went and sat down in the back, tried to stay away from everyone, not be a total mess. Couldn't even indulge in the free drink tickets we got because I just felt like such absolute shit. And I'm basically looking through two crusted enclosed eyelids everything is blurry and gross. So yeah, we survive. We make it home. Our next night was the show with Gangrene that, again, I am still sick as a dog. Huge turnout, huge show. It was a big deal because their original singer was back from the military and going to be doing a surprise couple songs with the band. And once I struggled my way through the set, finished, and couldn't even stay to watch Gangrene because I was so sick and had to go home. But yeah, anyways, Midway Cafe, double pink eye, fever of 102, heroin OD. Completely forgot how to play some songs on stage. That was the worst show I'd ever played.
That sucked.